Hello everybody. Today I want to show you a couple knots I like to use for fishing. I have four main knots I like to use. One's going to be the double uni, the standard clinch, the dropper loop, and the surgeon's end loop. And I'll show you how to use each one of those loops. The first one I'm going to show you is the dropper loop. Dropper loop is good for fishing bottom. If you ever fish on a river and let's say you're going for, maybe catfish or suckers, anything that you're fishing bottom with, which I've even caught smallmouth fishing bottom, where you just kind of pop your pole up and wait. This is the best knot for it, or at least a good knot for fishing bottom. And it's the more complicated of them. But what you're going to want to do is kind of make a loop like that, as you see. And what you do with said loop is you start making a little twist in there. So find a spot you can grab like so, and then just start making twists. And with my hands like inside here, I'm still holding both ends of the line. So you're gonna have something similar to that, and you want an opening like so, see? And then you're going to take the loop and feed it through that hole like so, and you pull it and it'll start to look kind of like this. Get it to about here, look like that, and then grab both ends of your line and just pull them apart. They'll tighten up just like that, and now you have a dropper loop. And you can have the dropper loop in the middle or close to the swivel or whatever you want. And then the way you use the dropper loop is, if you got a little weight right here, you take the actual loop and feed it through the eyelet of your weight like that, and then you just put the weight back through the loop, and then you got something like that. Tighten it down, and that weight isn't going anywhere. It's not going to work its way out either. This is very, very sturdy. And now your weight can sit here on the bottom while your rig could be slightly suspended. Now the other one I want to show you is the Surgical's end loop. And a Surgical's end loop is good for if you're a swivel kind of guy. So if you like your main line attached to a swivel and you like to have multiple rigs that are already tied up and ready to go, using the surgeon's end loop is a really good way to make that dream come true. And what you're going to do is you take your line just like that. You want that end sitting like so, and you want this end loop right here. And all you're going to do is take those two lines you got together and just kind of tie them like you're doing just a normal knot. So I'm going to take that loop, feed it through that hole, and then I'm going to come around and do that exact same thing again. And after you do that, just tighten her down. And there you go. And nice thing about this little Surgical's end loop that you do is your tag end is also going the same direction as your main line. It's kind of parallel. It's not coming off to the side. So if I'm holding it like that, you see how the loop is still going the same direction as my main line, rather than facing off the side or anything weird like that. And then when you got a loop like that, you're going to want to clip that tag end right there, and now you can attach your swivel. Boom. And now on your end here, you got a hook, you got a worm, you got whatever, and your main line is on your swivel like so. Now The other loop I want to show you is the double uni. Now the double uni is very good for attaching two lines together. And a good way to utilize the double uni is if you don't want to use like the main line you prefer to use throughout the entire spool of your reel. And what that does is now you can throw, 30-pound braid, spool the shit out of that braid, right? Get all up in there, and then you only use 20 yards of the line you actually want to use, your 6-pound mono, your 10-pound fluoro, whatever. And if you want to try a different line, or if that line wears out, you can just change it up, and you're not using a whole bunch of extra line, because that braid's going to last for a while, a lot longer than your actual lines, and that's going to be the mainstay of your spool. And you just change out that 20 yards you have. So to do a double uni is you're going to cross the lines together kind of like that. You take one end and you're going to go back a little bit like so and do twists. Twist heading backwards from where it was going. So it's going to kind of look like that. You're going to take your line, start twisting it through both your lines. And then you're going to take that line and bring it back through that loop. You're going to tighten her down. Now you got that loop, and now we go to the tag end of your other line. This is your braid, this is your fluoro. You do the same thing. Kind of hold it back there. Then start doing your little twisty doos with that other tag end. So you do that. Feed it through the hole. And I'll tighten that one down. Now you got 2 uni knots right here, and then you pull both those ends together, and I'll tighten down like that. Holds nice and stable, and now you just clip off your tag ends, and this won't break off, and then you start reeling in. Boom. That's how you get the double uni. And then last but not least, what's the rig you like? Or what's the knot you like best for fishing? And for me, it's your standard clinch. And to do standard clinch, which is not everyone should at least know how to do if they start fishing, is you just take your line, feed it through the eyelet of your hook or whatever lure you're using, come back around, do your twists, you go back up the line and you just twist it like so. I like to do about 5 to 6, and then you take that tag in and feed it through that loop at the start of your eyelet. Hold your bait you're using and that tag in, and then you got this. I like to lick it down. The saliva helps for the lubrication for when you tighten it down. And then you just pull on your main end, don't pull on the tag end. And when you do that, it'll just get nice and snug. And then you're going to obviously clip off this end. But this line does not bust, or at least this knot does not bust for anything. And on the on the bright side, it's not as flimsy and not as easily breakable. And it'll even tighten up extra if you have a little slack in it, though I don't like that. I like to just go straight to tighten. And this is a very good knot for monofilament, at least I'm aware of. But yep, those are the knots I like to use. You guys have a terrific day.